welcome to Porch Time with Bill Benson, and I am happy to begin the fall session on the porch, and this episode I have a friend and a fellow musician, Joel Blummert. Joel, welcome. Well, I think we met maybe 9 or 10 years ago, something like that. It was. Yeah, it was.
I've been going to LaSalle.
Yeah, for a long, long time. And we've done a couple of shows together. And Joel's an incredible guitarist and harp player and songwriter. So tell the viewers out there a little bit about yourself that I can't fill in.
Oh, well, I started playing guitar when I was 14, so I've been playing 55 years. You know, cut my teeth on the folk revival of the 60s and became a really dedicated blues and ragtime player for quite a long time. But I played a lot of different kinds of traditional American music, and
right.
and you know, I do some writing and.
Mm-hmm. Now, your finger style is how would you describe that? Because, you know, I do have some other finger style friends, and you know, but yours is different. It's.
I've been told that.
So, how would you describe it?
I don't know. I play with my thumb and 3 fingers, and. You know, there are a lot of influences in there from blues and ragtime and bluegrass and you know, and a little bit of jazz and
yeah, it's kind of a blend, basically.
It's a mix of things, you know, and I've been able to adapt it to do things like Todd Rundgren and you know and
right. Well. We're going to talk a little bit about your guitar later, but why don't you just get into a song?
Okay. Winter horizon, Mercury falling. You dreamed of tropical paradise calling. I could not hold you, so I watched you go. Next morning, woke covered in snow. It's hard holding on, waiting for letters, long distance phone calls. Don't make it much better. I dread each time we must say goodbye. We hang up and I want to cry. Floodwaters falling, blood roots in blossom, I seal notes in bottles, then I just toss them into the river. Will they float to the sea? Will you find your way back to me? Winter was easy, didn't mind long dark hours, spent days climbing ice falls on rocky cliff towers, skied in the moonlight, slept in the snow. In winter I follow the flow. Floodwaters falling, bloodroots in blossom, I seal notes in bottles, then I just toss them into the river. Will they float to the sea? Will you find your way back to me? Springtime brings hard times, surviving the weather. Your whole life slips downstream if you don't tie the tether. Spring never comes without floods anymore. River rose up to my door. Floodwaters falling, bloodroots in blossom, I seal notes in bottles, then I just toss them into the river. Will they float to the sea? Will you find your way back to me? Floodwaters falling, bloodroots in blossom, I seal notes in bottles, then I just toss them into the river. Will they float to the sea? Will you find your way back to me? Will you find your way? Will you find your way? Will you find your way back to me?
Wonderful. So,
Thank you.
So when you started early playing guitar, but when
Yeah.
did you discover that style? That I mean, I know that it takes years or just an
Yeah.
aha moment, and that it resonated with you. But when did you find that style?
Well, it developed gradually. I mean, I started out, just picking out blues tunes and doing some basic. But there were several different styles that were circulating that were called Travis picking. And then I was playing back in the 70s. I was playing with a trio called Off the Wall. We used to play the Pentangle Pub in Avon. And I was switching off. We were doing some tunes that I had written that were kind of bluegrass tunes, and we're doing a lot of things. Most of the time I was finger picking, but I would switch off to play between finger picking and flat picking. And then I remembered seeing Red Shea, one of my favorite guitar players. He was Gordon Lightfoot's lead guitar player. And I remember watching him play all this bluegrass kind of stuff with his fingers.
Right.
And I said, I'll do that.
So that's the aha moment, basically.
Yeah, that was really it, And then around that same time, I started listening to the ragtime players of the 20s and 30s.
Now, do you ever flat pick anymore?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm hapless with a flat pick. Every once in a while, I try to show somebody something with a flat pick, and it's I might as well have 5 thumbs.
So just briefly, can you play a little ragtimey thing?
Sure.
I know it's not a thing, but
Play a little bit of.
because I think it's great for the audience to be exposed to all different styles and,
Yeah.
and types of music. So ragtime may be something that they haven't.
Yeah, I'll play a little bit of a tune by Pink Anderson called "I Got Mine." I went down to the big crap game, certainly was against my will. Lost every single damn nickel I had but a greenback dollar bill. A $40 bet was laying on the floor. My buddy's point was 9. Police come and they grabbed all of us, but I got mine. I got mine. I got mine. Grabbed that money right off the floor. Out the back door I went flying. Ever since that big crap game, I've been living on chicken and wine. 'Cause I'm a leader of high society, folks, since I got mine. Play it like this.
Sweet.
That's ragtime.
Yeah. I can't never do that.
Practice.
I know. Nope. I just know I can't. My fingers do not move that way. All right. So briefly, because I want more music out of you, this is a beautiful guitar.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about it.
Oh, well, back around 2005, I won the Connecticut Blues Society Solo Duo Challenge, and I went down to the International Blues Challenge in Memphis, and I had this gorgeous handmade, custom-made guitar, and I was sweating it going through,
Right.
The airline
Right.
baggage all the time, and I made up my mind I was going to buy a carbon fiber guitar, and so I was looking at Rain Songs, and I was doing research, and I found an emerald carbon fiber guitar made in Cavanagh, County Donegal, Ireland, and I bought it used. That started a relationship with Emerald Guitars in Ireland. And I was one of their early customers, and I now own 5 Emeralds. Mm-hmm. And this is their X20 model. It's one-piece molded carbon fiber. And this is a combination of 2 custom finishes. It's a marbled finish underneath what they call, I forgot the name of the finish, but it changes from blue to green in the light.
Right. Well, I can see it,
and
maybe they can too.
And I call it the world's sexiest guitar. But it's the advantages of carbon fiber are that it's impervious to weather.
Right.
And so I really like them. I have a bunch of them.
Nice. All right, so play a Joel. Play a Joel.
Oh, that one was the first one. Was
play
mine.
Another one.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I can remember this one. Something different. Sorry. Tawny wakes in the morning, brushes the sleep from her hair, looks for a dream in the sunlight, riding ponies in the air, desert memories, dusty little towns, summertime everything goes dry and brown. Old time stories just bring her down. She'd rather go for a ride. Right out to the river, water is a long time gone. Standing in the dusk she shivers, warms herself with a song. California fires, New England rain. She's seen two oceans, they just look the same. Big city scenes drive her insane. She'd rather go for a ride. Look up on the mountain, see the tall green pines. From here they look like people, pilgrims standing in a line. Hey, right away, find some place to go. Eagle flies the sunlight, make a sign I know. Up above the canyons, up beyond the snow. Hey, 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 right away. Hey, 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 right away. Hey, 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 right away.
That was very nice. You know, I think that may be the first time that I've heard you play in that fingered style, because normally I see you,
Yeah.
like a double time, whatever, it's like a double timing. But, the simplicity of that was very, very nice.
Well, I for a long time I would play everything make things as complicated as I
Right.
could,
Right.
and at some point, and I'm sure you know this too, you reach a point as a player where you just do what the song needs.
Yeah, it took me forever, it seemed, to get to that point. But I think over the last couple of years, I've been able to figure out that, I can be big with just a little.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I can be big with a big thing. But, to step back or to come back a little bit in my guitar playing specifically.
Yeah. Take Our Sweet Time.
Yeah.
is very, very simple.
It's simple
and extremely effective.
And so,
I love that song.
and we do, so we get to that point just by playing. And for me, it's been the response. And then when I first came back to playing music, I just thought I had to go, Pete Townsend, everything, basically, even though I was a folk singer.
Right.
But it was like big, but you don't need to do that.
Right.
So where, now, you also have a unique voice.
Oh, thanks.
Which fits perfectly to all the music that you do, but do you recall where that came from?
Well, I grew up wanting to be a big band crooner. Okay, I was born in 1949. So, I grew up, as a kid, I listened to Frank Sinatra and Vaughn Monroe, and at one point I really wanted to be Alan Jones, the guy who starred in Night at the Opera with the Marx Brothers.
Yeah.
And then when I got into folk music, I started just doing a lot of things that were really bad for my voice, and I really messed it up. And then I studied voice with a guy named Alan Green, who developed a revolutionary approach to voice training. And that's where I really became attached to the idea of sing the way that you sing and do whatever kind of music you want to do.
Right.
And you don't
I agree
change. You don't. It's like, you know, and it's this very weird thing. People take an instrument and they play all different kinds of music on the instrument, and they don't alter the instrument to play different kinds of music.
Right.
But they don't do that with their voices.
Right.
They think a particular kind of music has to sound a particular way vocally. And so they change the internal shape of the instrument to distort it somehow to fit the kind of music they think should sound that way.
Right, right.
And 10 years ago, I went back to playing for a living, and I play a circuit of nursing homes, and I do a lot of 1920s, 30s, and 40s popular music. Mm-hmm. And it's finally given me the chance to play out my fantasy of, you know, like doing the Gus Kahn and Fats Waller and Gershwin stuff.
Well, one of the things that I also discovered for me many years ago is that I have my voice, and when I talk to young people, or even, you know, some of the older people that we know, you know, I always say, I like it better when you sing in your voice, you know, so don't try to sound like, you know, you're not, you know, Dylan, or you're not whatever, you know, don't try to sound like them, because it sounds like you're trying to sound like them. And so over the years, and just by singing and not caring, I just created this voice, which is, you know, sometimes I can rock and sometimes I can be, you know, a lullaby. So, but it's very important to have your own,
I think so,
identity and your own voice. So,
a lot of people we know do that.
Yes.
When I think about somebody with a great voice like Eric Paradine or Con and Patty, you know, wonderful voices, and they just do different kinds of music.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, but it really is important, and I love all kinds of music, but I love to hear the individuality of a vocalist or a guitarist. You know, it's great. What usually happens on the porch is I have a whole lot of fun. We have had a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, this is fun.
And we run out of time. So tell the audience where they can maybe see you, find your music, or whatever.
It's Joel Blummert, Blummert. You can find, I have one thing on SoundCloud. I have some things on YouTube. Probably not, the only place you're going to see me play is a farmer's market or an open mic, unless you're a resident of a nursing home.
And hopefully, you know, you aren't, but if you are.
So I do occasionally play, I like to go down and play the open mic at LaSalle and the one at Passiflora. And I play some other ones, 12 Moons Coffee House up in Salisbury.
And you're from
I live in Salisbury, Connecticut. Long way from everywhere.
Absolutely. But a beautiful area. All right, so thank you for coming on the show, on the porch, and play us out something that feels good to you.
All right. Play a little bit of a song by Paul Kraft. It's a bluegrass tune. With the clickety sound of a southbound freight and the high-speed hum of passenger train, they're part of the soul and the heart and the mind of a boy who's raised by the railroad line and the sound of the whistle at the crossing road. Tanks, trucks, and tractors on the flat car load, they're part of the soul and the heart and the mind of a boy who's raised by the railroad line. And the big round penny that you lay on the rails and the wheels smash flat, and the glimpse of the ladies and the pictures of the men in the engineer's hat, and the brakeman waves from a red caboose. He's part of the past that never quite turns loose. He's part of the soul and the heart and the mind of a boy who's raised by the railroad line.